Welcome to the Awa Show. I'm Awa. This is part 3 with Marjorie Waterman. So Marjorie, we just left it where it was very clear to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that when the guards or the officers,
they're called corrections officers.
the correction officer was respectful to the inmates and really treated them like human beings, they were better.
Yes.
People.
Much better.
Much better.
One of the things the students used to tell me is I never called them inmates. My students were students.
Okay.
And one of the things they used to say is they loved to come to class because I treated them like they were real people.
That's
and they weren't just numbers. And a lot of the officers are not very well trained, and they're young, and they really don't know how to control except to be control freaks.
Sorry to cut you. You said they were not numbers. Why? If not, they call them by numbers?
Well, they may call them by name, but they each are assigned a number, and they have to memorize that number and know that number, and that's how they're actually identified in the jail system.
Okay.
But they feel like numbers because they don't feel that the officers, many of the officers don't differentiate. Like, you know, if you got 70 people, you're going to have some that are cooperative, some that aren't, some that are nice, some that want to help.
That's right.
And the officers, the bad officers tend to treat, they're all the same. So regardless of how much an inmate might try to cooperate, it doesn't mean anything. And they don't see the point. So they'll look for ways to get around the officer. And this is where the whole subculture thing kicks in, where they learn how to play games and manipulate.
Yes.
Because if you're oppressed, you manipulate.
That's right.
That's human nature.
Totally.
And if you can't be in charge, if you can't take control, if you can't do what you want to do, then you have to find a way around the system.
Yes.
And this is where they learn to be better criminals. It's not just the other inmates that teach them to be better criminals. It's the system.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Right.
That's scary. The system that designs it already. So who's better teacher?
Exactly. There are things. One example of that is, for example, they have to use their thumbprint to make a telephone call.
Okay.
And someone will let someone else use their thumbprint if they want to make a call, that they can't be identified they can say what they want on the phone. They think they can't be identified. All calls are taped. All letters are read. There's no privacy. The private mail is from your attorney.
Okay.
But everything is monitored. So the inmates will find ways around all that stuff in order to beat the system.
Yes.
And it's a game. It's cops and robbers.
Wow.
You know? But it's promoted by the system because some of the rules are so ridiculous and nonsensical that the inmates just absolutely won't follow them.
That's right.
And other rules are just repressive. For example, there's some officers that won't allow inmates to take a shower except at a specific time. And if that inmate happened to have to go to court or went for medical care or whatever, for some reason couldn't take a shower at that time, then they just can't take a shower that day.
Oh, that's sad.
And there's things like that are just mean.
It not only is mean, but what does it add? What is it for? It's to take people's dignity?
Right. It takes away your dignity and your sense of humanity. And that's why they feel like a number instead of a person.
But then what is left?
Nothing. The animal.
The animal part.
Right.
I mean, when are we going to do? What are we going to do? When are we going to change that? I mean,
hopefully yesterday.
Hopefully yesterday. Hopefully yesterday. Thank you so much, Marjorie. I mean,
thank you.
Good luck for your book.
We'll
keep in touch. We want to know about it, how it goes along. And, you've heard it from somebody in jail for how many years now?
Almost 15 years.
15 years, working very closely with those inmates that she calls her students. Yes, there is work to do. And I believe the work starts at home. And violence every day, there is no way we can just get it where we want it. Watching that jail program last night just made me realize the animal part in all of us. And what we do as a society is we activate it every day by showing our kids how they can just go ahead and play with it. We do it with games, we do it with each other, and that will not lead anywhere good. Thank you. That was the Hour Show. I hope you've learned a lot. Just remember to be loving to yourself and to others. Thank you.